All right, we continue on Hannity, and you just saw Governor Mitt Romney and President Barack Obama at the Alfred E. Smith Dinner in New York City, which is a fun event, well known. And are we allowed to say who won this? Because I have a very strong opinion. I thought Mitt Romney was much.
All I was thinking is that President Obama better hope this election goes his way, because I don't think he's going to win on last comic standing.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of flat.
I think that's the show we were trying to get a hold of. Yeah. You know, he did have one good line. He goes, "Well, Governor Romney's middle name is actually Mitt. Gee, I wish I could use my middle name."
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was very funny, and I thought he had more than one good line. But I did say, right? I did say during the break, like, you know, I can be objective, and I just didn't think his pacing and his timing, you know, was as good as Governor Romney's. And timing and comedy.
Also, he doesn't look like he's having any fun at all. And do you remember Rich, you'll remember this, in 2008, one of the things that happened was that they came back and they said he had a terrible week on the campaign trail. And they said, "What's wrong with him?" Meaning President Obama, at the time senator. And they said, "He's just not having any fun out there on the campaign trail." And that's when then my successor, Robert Gibbs, went out on the campaign trail. He said, "I'll take a week," and then he ended up being on campaign trail for 4 months with him because it made him feel better.
I love the Big Bird line.
Oh, that was great.
Let her roll, 16 trillion.
16 trillion.
Yeah.
I had a couple impressions. One, look, it's hard not to like a politician when he's being self-deprecating. And I like the middle of Obama's remarks. There's some good stuff in there. But I was struck by how large that first debate looms. He kept on coming back to it again and again and again. But I did think Romney was wittier. And also, these sort of forums, they're more important for Romney because Obama already has a reputation. He's supposed to be the sparkling personality and this great speaker. Mitt Romney is supposed to be the robot. So when he goes out there and he's self-deprecating, talks about wearing the white tie, that's what they wear casually around the house.
Right.
And I won the debate.
What Ann and I wear
I
around the
didn't drink
house.
for 65 years or 64 years. That's really great stuff. And people aren't used to seeing Romney in that mode, so it's more valuable for him.
Well, it was also pretty good when he said, "Well, I have Ann Romney, he has Bill Clinton." That was another
Bill
pretty
Clinton
good.
has a higher approval
That must have been
rate.
written before. That was written before today, I think.
Yeah, I think that probably was written
In
before
addition
today.
to that, President Obama took some shots from Governor Romney that were very pointed. The water into wine comments, which then, you know, and I love those 1-2 punches: water into wine, wine into water. You know, very funny.
And the president probably his final months now, and he has so much to do, so little time, so much to redistribute. Took a lot of shots at Joe Biden tonight.
Yes, and yeah, that was honestly, that was very easy. I found them to be funny, quite frankly. But this isn't going to lead to anybody. I bet money nobody is going to say, "Oh, I'm going to vote for that guy because, you know, he's a better comedian."
Not necessarily.
I think Rich nailed it, though. This was bigger, I think, in the political context. It's a fun night. It's for a charity, et cetera, et cetera. We're 19 days out of a campaign. People are watching this closely. And I think you're right, because there had been this caricature, to go back to the earlier part of your analysis tonight, and this demon, Mitt Romney, Bain Capital, rich, out of touch. And not only did people see that he was serious, smart, had good ideas, and he was not this guy that they had painted him into a corner to be, but also self-deprecating, funny, somebody that was probably pretty relatable tonight.
Leslie's right. No one's going to vote on this, but it's a couple more brushstrokes and a portrayal of Romney that's been building over the last couple of weeks that's very important.
Plus, he has the wind at his back. And also, it tells people, people ask this question: can I stand this guy in my living room for the next 4 years?
It's a good question.
And then, you know, the first debate, they're like, "Oh, maybe I could." Second debate, yeah. Tonight, they're like, "Yeah, that guy's funny. I could have him in my living room for 4 years."
Yeah, who do you want to have a beer with? All right, let's go to some of the polls that have come out today. We got the new Gallup poll, 45% Governor Romney, which is a significant margin, because once you top that 50% mark, as we pointed out earlier, Karl Rove had said, in fact, that nobody's ever lost being at 50% this late in a campaign. Then we have the Susquehanna polling and research. This is Pennsylvania. Now, Governor Romney had been within striking distance, anywhere between 2 and 4 points. But in this poll, just out later tonight, 49-45, that's Governor Romney. What are we to make of that?
Honestly, whenever I see a poll where the president is up, whether it be on a national level or state, or Mitt Romney is up nationally or state, I need to see more than one. Okay, first of all. Second of all, anything on a national level, from where I am, left or right, I need to see that in the swing states. And right now, I'm just looking at, I'm really looking at Ohio.
I think, you know, you always have to, even though Gallup is the most prestigious polling company, organization in the nation, you always have to average them out. And I've heard Scott Rasmussen, our friend, we all admire him very much, say in the polls, you always have to look at the commonalities. And for me, Sean, the key commonality in these national tracking polls, no one else has Romney at 52, but everyone else has him right there, 45, 46, 47. You average them out, it's about 46, 47, an incumbent president at that level 3 weeks before an election is in a terrible predicament.
I agree with that. All right, let's look at something. Now, The Daily Show taped a segment with President Obama today. It has not been aired, but this was released in terms of a quote that he made talking about the Benghazi consulate, where he's actually quoted as saying, here's what I'll say, when 4 Americans get killed, it's not optimal. Now, American Crossroads came out with a brand new ad today. Let me show you that on top of these new comments that came out tonight. Watch this.
You said in the Rose Garden, the day after the attack, it was an act of terror. It was not a spontaneous demonstration. Is that what you're saying?
Please proceed, Governor.
It is in response to a video, a film. This is in response to a video.
Internet video that we had nothing to do with.
That was spontaneous? Was it a planned attack? Was there a terrorist element to it?
This is a response to a hateful and offensive video.
The video and its influence on the protests that occurred in Cairo and Benghazi. In response to this video, it was the video that caused the unrest in Cairo, that precipitated some of the unrest in Benghazi. It was sparked by the reaction to this video. The video was a precipitating cause to the unrest, specifically in Libya. Might take advantage of a situation that was brought about initially as a response to the video in question.
Natural protests that arose because of the outrage over the video.
You're totally correct that they spent 2 weeks telling us this was about a tape and that there was a, this riot outside the Benghazi consulate, which there wasn't.
Natural protests that arose because of the outrage over the video.
What did you know? When did you know it? How powerful, Ned?
Effective. I think the best thing that the Romney campaign can do, or American Crossroads, if you're against the current administration, is just let their own words speak for themselves and let people decide what the truth was.
They did not say it was a terror attack until, not even on the 14 days later. This happened on the 11th, on the 25th, on The View, point blank. Joy Behar asked President Obama. He says, well, we don't know yet. So the president was wrong in the debate.
Oh, well, no, not what he said in the Rose Garden. But I think that, honestly, this administration, and this is not being partisan to me, this is just, being an American. As an American, I, along with probably all of you, want transparency. But I want it to a degree. This is not always the time to be transparent. You just don't throw something out there that's not true. You have to investigate.
America
was
at 4 Americans were killed, and you don't lie to the American people.
I just said that.
I mean, being dishonest about a terror attack in the immediate run-up to an election is a huge deal. And look, this ad, it's a little bit debate cleanup because Romney did not make this point in the cleanest way in the debate, but it very effectively points out that if the president was really saying Benghazi was a premeditated terror attack in Rose Garden, which he wasn't, which he tried to create that impression in the debate, then why did everyone go on and on for 2 weeks saying it was the product of a spontaneous...
Not only that, they arrested an American citizen for a probation violation about a video. They blamed him. For deaths of 4 Americans. Right. They blamed a video maker that turns out not to be true, and it turns out that they knew it wasn't true.
But I don't think...
Well, wait a minute. There is a 50-minute tape of this, what happened this night. It's available. The State Department watched it in real time. I have confirmed tonight, I can say 100% that tape exists, and a transcript of them is available. Will the American people see this before the election takes place? But let me throw you one other ad before we get to that. This kind of makes fun of the fact that the president, he likes to have a lot of fun. I mean, he's not too interested in that work part of his job. He likes golf and basketball and traveling. Well, watch this one.
Sometimes Barack Obama seems to confuse being president with being on spring break. Since taking office, he's played more than 100 rounds of golf. While Americans struggle to find jobs and save their homes, Barack Obama was too busy playing round after round after round of golf. He even had to be pulled off the golf course when the operation to get Osama bin Laden was underway. While gas prices have soared and our national debt has exploded, Obama seems too busy trying to be the cool kid, yucking it up with TV stars and Hollywood celebrities. And when our ambassador and 3 other Americans were killed in a terrorist attack in Libya, Obama refused to cancel his fundraising party in Las Vegas. It's time to retire the Beer Summit spring break presidency. It's time to put the adults back in charge of America. The campaign to defeat Obama PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
You're laughing, Mr. Lowry?
Not the most subtle ad ever. And every golfer out there is probably like, give him a break. You know, he can play golf.
Have you played 100 rounds in your life? I haven't.
You know, it was funny. I was on a holiday, I think it was last Thanksgiving, and I've been trying to improve my swing. I hit 200 balls that day because I had nothing to do. And I was like, if I was president of the United States, I could do this every single day. But I don't have time.
I don't, honestly... And I know people may not agree with me, obviously, but I don't think that this, or, quite frankly, even the last ad, are going to be that effective. Because, 1, I think you could fit in my hands now the number of people that are undecided. 2, neither of them really appeal to women, which both of them really need to go for. And 3, if you look years ago at the Swift Boat ads, those were very effective because they were very strong and very shocking. This isn't saying anything new, you know what I mean? Americans have heard this before, so I don't find the ads very effective.
I think that as soon as something becomes a Saturday Night Live joke, like the president's golfing, that's when you should, as a staff, be advising the principal that I think you're going to have to take a day off today. And you know, there'll be plenty of time for golf in the future, but today is just not the day. There were so many times when they...
It's a basketball day today, Mr. President. Yeah. No more golf.
Right, inside activities.
Maybe you should take a trip to New York, go to Broadway, and do that. Guys, you've been a lot of fun. This has been fun tonight. Thank you all for being here.
Thanks, Sean.
Coming up next, we review all the ways the mainstream, Obama, mania media put their liberal spin on the news. We'll check in with Brent Bozell for this week's edition of Media Mash. That is straight ahead.